So tomorrow could potentially become one of the most important earnings reports that investors will be paying attention to in the AI markets. And what is interesting is that almost everybody seems to be on the same side of the trade. Wall Street analysts regarding Micron Technology Incorporated, ticker symbol MU, are overwhelmingly bullish, and price targets have been raised as high as $1,500 to $1,750 a share. And HBM production is reportedly sold out through 2026. Investors are calling Micron one of the biggest beneficiaries of the AI boom. And honestly, I do understand why, because Micron sits right in the middle of one of the most important trends in technology today. But here's where I differ for some investors. I like Micron. I think the company has executed extremely well. However, I also believe investors need to stay disciplined, because when expectations become this high, expectations themselves can become a risk. The options market is pricing in an 11% to 13% move after earnings. Reports suggest institutions have been buying downside protection ahead of the announcement. And despite all of the optimism that's out there regarding Micron, there are still concerns surrounding valuation, execution, future oversupply, and whether or not AI has truly broken the historical boom and bust cycle of the memory industry. So in today's video, both me and you, we're going to examine both sides of the argument, why investors are bullish on Micron and why others remain cautious on the stock, and what I personally will be watching during the earnings report. And again, my name's David over here at InvestQ. If you enjoy the content, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. And before discussing the earnings report, I want to quickly do an overview over Micron, because Micron is one of the largest memory and storage companies out there. The company, it generates most of its revenue through DRAM and NAND products. DRAM accounts for more than 75% of revenue and is used in data centers. It's also used in AI servers, PCs, smartphones, and countless other computing applications. Quick reminder before we continue, if you're enjoying the content and want to connect with the community, check out the first link below for the free InvestQ community. And if you want access to advanced stock research and tools, the second link is a Prophecy 7-day trial for just $7. And last, if you want daily market updates and behind the scenes content, follow me on Instagram using the third link in the description. Now, let's get back to the video. NAND flash accounts for roughly 20 to 22% of revenue, and it powers SSD storage products, mobile devices, and enterprise systems. And Micron also serves multiple end markets through its mobile, automotive, industrial embedded, and data center businesses. So in simple terms, Micron sells the memory that allows modern computing systems to function. Now, the bullish case argument for Micron is first off regarding the AI demand, because that's the primary reason for why investors are bullish. Every NVIDIA GPU needs high bandwidth memory, commonly known as HBM, and Micron has become one of the major suppliers of that critical component. And according to multiple reports, Micron's HBM production is effectively sold out all the way out to the whole year of 2026. And that suggests that demand continues to exceed supply for investors. That is exactly the type of stuff that you would want to see. And another reason for the optimism is Micron's customer base. Micron supplies memory products to some of the largest technology companies in the world. Customers include NVIDIA, hyperscale cloud providers such as Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, as well as major smartphone manufacturers and enterprise technology providers. When investors think about AI infrastructure spending, Micron is one of the companies directly benefiting from that capital investment. And as I mentioned earlier, talking about Wall Street analysts, Wall Street has become increasingly bullish on Micron because several firms have raised their price targets significantly. As mentioned, some of the targets are as much as $1,500 all the way up to $1,750 a share. That's crazy pricing. That's a crazy raise on the price because reports suggest buy-side whisper numbers may be substantially above official Wall Street consensus estimates. So, in simple terms, investors aren't simply expecting Micron to perform well. Many investors expect Micron to absolutely crush expectations. So, kind of the same way that people view it when it comes to Nvidia. They don't want to just see a good quarterly earnings report, they want to see something absolutely dominant. And Micron recently announced a multi-year memory supply agreement with none other than Anthropic. The announcement further strengthened the narrative that Micron's products are becoming increasingly important within the AI ecosystem. And when you combine that with strong AI demand and favorable industry conditions, investors have pushed the stock dramatically higher over the past year. And where I personally view things is I am not in the camp that thinks Micron is a bad company. I'm not bearish on the company. Actually, I do think the opposite, and I like Micron because Micron has positioned itself extremely well within the AI infrastructure buildout. The company's relationships, the technology, and execution definitely deserves recognition. But what on the flip side, what I also think is that investors should be careful about becoming emotionally attached to a bullish narrative. What is it that we always talk about in the InvestQ community? You never marry a stock and you never marry a headline. When I see aggressive price targets increasing the way that we have, and I also see overwhelming optimism, whisper estimates above the consensus, and expectations from near, which is basically expecting perfection, I become more focused on risk management and defense. And that doesn't make me bearish on the stock. It simply means that I want to remain disciplined and I want to see the actual results. And I want to hear management's guidance and I want to see whether future demand continues supporting today's valuations because sometimes companies can still become poor investments if expectations get too far ahead of reality. So, what do you guys think about Micron stock? What are you guys looking out for in the earnings report tomorrow? Let me know in the comment section below what it is you think. And also feel free to hit the like and subscribe button if you do feel I added any value to your investing journey. But with that being said, guys, stay safe, keep making good decisions with your long-term portfolios, and I'll see you on the next video.